Hi, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Contour Community Meeting. Today is July 14th, 2020, and we're going to go through some status updates and some fun stuff that's happening a little later this week. So let me share my screen so you all can see. See, that's the right window, and boom. All right. Steve, Chris, you're up first.
All right, yeah, this is just kind of a follow-up to what I mentioned last week, but I've been working on adding an initial set of configurable timeouts that can be tweaked through the Contour config file. So at this point, the 4 of them that we initially wanted to add are the PRs for all of them have been merged. I probably have a couple of additional follow-up PRs just to do some polishing on the documentation and add a few more test cases. But apart from that, the code is in. So if anyone wants to test it, on the master image build, go for it. I'm happy to get any feedback. And then we have some additional work that's planned along these lines that I'll probably start to take on later this week.
And this is landing in the next release, right? 1.7.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, and this is opening up all those like configuration knobs we've been talking about. So allowing folks to, tweak more of the settings in Contour, where previously we didn't have, folks didn't have access to that directly. So all these timeouts, I think, are the first batch of configs that you can now, tweak to your environment and to your applications.
Yeah, these are like idle timeouts and maximum connection durations, regardless of whether the connection's idle or not, and a couple other things related to that.
Awesome. And this is kind of part of what what Nick talked about as well in the latest blog post, kind of making things more configurable, things like that. So in the Contours Landscape blog post that was posted last week here. So if you haven't read that, highly recommend reading this. It talks about what's happening in the future here. So this is a really good blog post. Takes a few minutes to read. It's a lengthy one, but it's definitely worthwhile reading. All right, thank you, Steve. Steve Sloka.
Yeah, just a quick update of the Ingress Route stuff. I know Nick had a PR to remove a bunch of the other bits. This is like kind of the final one that removes the actual APIs from Contour and stuff. So if you still need access to Ingress Route on an older version of Contour, then you'll have to look at a tagged release or look in the docs on the previous version docs. That'll all still be there. But going forward, since we've finally removed Ingress Route, this PR here actually got rid of the last bits everywhere. So that's it. So hopefully you're on HTTP Proxy now and off of Ingress Route. If not, let us know. We'll help you out to go from A to B.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
You also wanted to talk about a PR that came in here.
Yeah, so this issue and actually fix came in yesterday. So I just wanted to call this out from Gorka here. So there was an issue in a TCP proxy include. So if you included it, there was an old issue that got fixed, which caused an issue in this version, and it doesn't make any sense as even I said it. So today, in the current version, you couldn't. You had to include a service on an include, right? Which doesn't make sense because the idea of includes is to pass off or delegate off the route to another TCP proxy. So what we did here was remove that restriction. It was put there originally because someone had some misconfigured YAML, and it caused Contour to not throw an error, but then it gave an error when the route got hit through Envoy. So that fix was to fix a different kind of thing, which we've since done behind the scenes. So this, again, in the end, I think just fixes Contour to work the way it's supposed to from the way our docs explain it and the way that the HTTP routes work, but applies it to the TCP routes. So that's all. It was just validation YAML in the Open API spec was the change, really. So that's all. I just want to call it out and give a thanks for the the contribution for this, because it's nice to have those come through.
Awesome.
Hey, Jonas, I don't know if you saw, it looks like Michael and maybe another person or two are having trouble getting into the Zoom. They said it's asking for a password.
There is no password for this one. There is a password for the Contour office hours that I sent out an invite to, but that is not until Thursday. Yeah, so this meeting does not have a password yet. We are updating that. Yeah, speaking of Contour office hours, this is something that we're kicking off this week. And so the Contour office hours is something that Steve Sloka is going to spearhead here. And it is happening every first and third Thursday at 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern. 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern. And of course, if you're in Pacific time, that's 12 a.m. to 12 p.m. And we do have a schedule here. The point of the schedule is to make sure that if we don't have enough things to talk about during the office hours, we'll cover some of these things. We want to make sure that everyone kind of gets their voice heard and kind of make sure that we have a space for collaboration and kind of more broader conversations around Contour, how it works, how to do certain things. So if you want to talk to the maintainers here and have questions and maybe want to bring up something, an enhancement that might take a little longer than the regular community meeting, please join the Contour office hours here. I'm going to kick this off, as I said, on Thursday here on July 16th. So yeah, please join us. Steve, do you want to add something here?
No, that's a great intro. I think the main goal, like you said, is to help. If you have questions, you want to ask about how things work, or just chat about anything Contour or Envoy. That's sort of the main goal. Again, the agenda is just to help fill the time in case there aren't any questions and you just want to talk about something that seems interesting, maybe. So yeah, but hopefully it's interactive. Hopefully it's just not me talking the whole time, but it's everyone kind of hanging out. So feel free to join in, and we can also you can post. I don't know if there's a way to add things to this agenda, or I guess a good way to give feedback as to, hey, this would be neat to talk about, to update the schedule, because the schedule is not in stone either. This was just some ideas that we came up with in an afternoon. So.
Yep. Awesome. Is anyone else? Does anyone else want to add something to the meeting today? Any other discussion topics, updates? All right, then we're going to close it out today. And yeah, thank you all for joining. Have a fantastic rest of the week. See you all on Thursday, hopefully, and see you all on the next meeting. Have a good one, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
See y'all. Take care.